Hey, 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 my fam bam and new friends. How's everybody doing today? I hope that you are blessed, safe, sound, protected, and healthy. As for me, I am doing great. I am pulling through each and every day, and I advise you and encourage you guys to be doing the same. Today, my friends and my fam bam and new friends that are here with me, we're going to be doing quite a different Bible teaching. I'm going to be jumping back and forth to certain um, points that I want you guys to see. Okay, so today's video is going to be called Jesus is not dead, he is alive. Okay, so with that being said, my fam bam and my friends, I'm going to be getting this out of the way. If you are new here, don't forget to join the family by subscribing and hitting that notification bell to be the first one to know when I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to like and comment because I love chit chatting with you guys. And yeah, guys, and don't forget that I also upload every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. USA Standard Time. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to be jumping into the teaching, the Bible verses of today's video. So the first Bible verse is going to be found in Matthew 16:21 through 27, and this is where Jesus predicts his own death. Let's see what it says. Bear with me because I have to find the Bible verse in my Bible. So hang in there, guys. Hold up. Okay, and that is Matthew chapter 16, Bible verses 21 all the way through 27. And that says, from then on, Jesus began to tell his disciples plainly that it was necessary for him to go to Jerusalem and that he would suffer many terrible things at the hands of the elders, the leading priests, and the teachers of religious law. He would be killed, but on the third day he would be raised from the dead. But Peter took him aside and began to reprimand him for saying such things. Heaven forbid, Lord, he said. This will never happen to you. Jesus turned to Peter and said, get away from me, Satan. You are a dangerous trap to me. You are seeing things merely from a human point of view, not from God's. Then Jesus said to his disciples, if any of you wants to be my follower, you must turn from your selfish ways. Take up your cross and follow me. If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it. And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? If anything worth more than your soul, for the Son of Man will come with his angels in the glory of his Father and will judge all people according to their deeds. So right here, Jesus was telling the disciples pretty much what was going to happen to him, because he's God, he knows everything. And you saw the disciple Peter pulled him aside and said, why are you speaking like that, And he told him that it was going to happen, because like I said, he knows everything. And also, but he told him that he was going to rise in the third day, So, yeah, guys, I decided to talk about this teaching, Jesus is not dead, he's alive, because a lot of people, well, mostly it says in the Bible that his kind are blindfolded and they're believing that he's dead when in reality he's not, he's alive. So I want to make that clear, and for you guys who say that God doesn't exist, well, he does exist, he's in the third sky sitting in his throne watching everything we say and we do, so we have to watch out, But in other ways, let's get into the next Bible verse. Okay, guys. And I'm going to be jumping into how Judas betrays Jesus, because Judas is the one disciple that betrayed Jesus. And we're going to see how. Okay? We're going to be jumping into Matthew chapter 27, Bible verses 3 to 10. So let's get in it, guys. And it says, when Judas, who had betrayed him, realized that Jesus had been condemned to die, he was filled with remorse. So he took the 30 pieces of silver back to the leading priests and the elders. I have sinned, he declared, for I have betrayed an innocent man. What do we care? They retorted. That's your problem. Then Judas threw the silver coins down in the temple and went out of and hanged himself. The leading priest picked up the coins. It wouldn't be right to put this money in the temple treasury, they said, since it was payment for murder. After some discussion, they finally decided to buy the potter's field, and they made it into a cemetery for foreigners. That is why the field is still called the Field of Blood. This fulfilled the prophecy of Jeremiah that says they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price at which he was valued by the people of Israel, and purchased the potter's field as the Lord directed. So you see, guys, Judas betrayed Jesus, and for coins, for silver, 30 pieces. I guess it meant a lot of money back then. But yeah, he's the one who betrayed Jesus, and he gave him a kiss, and then he turned in the Lord. That's exactly what he did. And that's why, like, when I feel that somebody, I'm gonna jump into this. When I feel that somebody is being fake, or not being real about something, I call it the Judas kiss. Like, how some people give you a hug or a kiss, and they're fake, or that they ain't real, you ain't feeling it, they ain't legit. I call it the Judas kiss and the Judas hug. That's the way I see it. But I'm just being real with you guys. Anyways, guys, back to the Bible verse. That's messed up, huh? How that one disciple betrayed Father Jesus and offered dumb silver coins. But you saw what he did, or you heard what he did. He ended up hanging himself because he couldn't handle it, because he knew what he did was wrong. So, yeah, guys, with that being said, let's jump into the next Bible verse. All right, guys. Now we're going to be reading the Crucifixion. This is how Jesus died, how he was sentenced to death. And we're going to be reading John chapter 19, all 19. It has 42 Bible verses in this chapter itself. So let's get in it, guys. Okay, then Pilate had Jesus flogged with a lead-tipped whip. The soldiers wove a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they put a purple robe on him. Hail, King of the Jews! They mocked as they slapped him across the face. Pilate went outside again and said to the people, I am going to bring out to you now, but understand, wait, understand clearly that I find him not guilty. Then Jesus came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. And Pilate said, look, here is the man. When they saw him, the leading priests and temple guards began shouting, crucify him, crucify him. Take him yourselves and crucify him. Pilate said, I find him not guilty. Hold on, sorry guys. Okay. The Jew leaders replied, by our law, he ought to die because he called himself the Son of God. When Pilate heard this, he was more frightened than ever. He took Jesus back into the headquarters again and asked him, "Where are you from?" But Jesus gave no answer. "Why don't you talk to me?" Pilate demanded. "Don't you realize that I have the power to release you or Cruci- crucify you?" I'm sorry. Then Jesus said, "You would have no power over me at all unless it were given to you from above. So the one who handed me over to you has the greater sin." Then Pilate tried to release him, but the Jewish leaders shouted, "If you release this man, you are no friend of Caesar. Anyone who declares himself a king is a rebel against Caesar." When they said this, Pilate brought Jesus out to them again. Then Pilate sat down on the judgment seat on the platform that is called the stone pavement, in Hebrew, Gabbatha. It was now about noon on the day of preparation for the Passover. The Pilate said to the people, "Look, here is your king. Away with him," they yelled. "Away with him. Crucify him." "What crucify your king?" Pilate asked. "We have no king but Caesar," the leading priest shouted back. Then Pilate turned Jesus over to them to be crucified. Okay, now we're getting into the crucifixion, guys. So here it goes. It says, "So they took Jesus away carrying the cross by himself. He went to the place called Place of the Skull, in Hebrew, Golgotha. There they nailed him to the cross. Two others were crucified with him, one on either side, with Jesus between them. And Pilate posted a sign on the cross that read, "Jesus of Nazareth, the King of Jews." The place where Jesus was crucified was near the city, and the sign was written in Hebrew, Latin, and Greek, so that many people could read it. Then the leading priest objected and said to Pilate, "Change it from the King of the Jews to," he said, "I am the King of the Jews." Pilate replied, "No, what I have written, I have written." Then the soldiers had crucified Jesus. They divided his clothes among the four of them. They also took his robe, but it was seamless, woven in one piece from top to bottom. So they said, "Rather than tearing it apart, let's throw dice for it." This fulfilled the scripture that says, "They divided my garments among themselves and threw dice for my clothing." So that is what they did, standing near the cross were Jesus' mother and his mother's sister Mary, the wife of Clopas, I'm sorry, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus saw his mother standing there beside the disciple he loved, he said to her, "Dear woman, here is your son." And he said, and he said to his disciple, "Here is your mother." And from then on, this disciple took her into his home. Here's where Jesus dies. So let's get into it, guys. It says Jesus knew that his mission was now finished, and to fulfill scripture, he said, "I am thirsty." A jar of sour wine was sitting there, so they soaked a sponge in it, put it on a hyssop branch, and held it up to his lips. When Jesus had tasted it, he said, "It is finished." Then he bowed his head and released his spirit. It was a day of preparation, and the Jewish leaders didn't want the bodies hanging there the next day, which was the Sabbath, and a very special Sabbath because it was the Passover. So they asked Pilate to hasten their deaths by ordering that their legs be broken, then their bodies could be taken down. So the soldiers came and broke the legs of the two men crucified with Jesus. But when they came to Jesus, they saw that he was already dead, so they didn't break his legs. One of the soldiers, however, pierced his side with a spear, and immediately blood and water flowed out. Wow. This report is from an eyewitness giving an accurate account. He speaks the truth so that you also can believe. These things happen in fulfillment of the scriptures that say, not one of his bones will be broken, and they will look on the one they pierced. Here's the where they bury Father Jesus. So bear with me, guys. It says, afterward, Joseph of Arimathea, who had been a secret disciple of Jesus because he feared the Jewish leaders, asked Pilate for permission to take down Jesus' body. When Pilate gave permission, Joseph came and took the body away. With him came Nicodemus, the man who had come to Jesus at night. He brought about 75 pounds of perfume ointment made from myrrh and aloes. Following Jewish burial custom, they wrapped cloths. The place of crucifixion was near a garden where there was a new tomb never used before. And so, because it was the day of preparation for the Jewish Passover, and since the tomb was closed at hand, they laid Jesus there. So, yeah, guys, right here is talking about all the horrific things that Father Jesus went through and how he died and what they did and how they buried him. So, yeah, guys, it's really crazy. I really don't like to really talk about it, but because it's hard. It's hard for any Christian um, to just imagine, the pain he went through for all of us to be here now. So we could know the Father and the Father could call us children, his own. It's because of Jesus, his son, who came to die for all of us. Even though he was innocent and he did not do anything, he didn't deserve none of that. But if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be here today. And those are real facts. So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to be jumping into the next Bible verse. Alright, my fellow fam bam and new friends that are here with me. Now we're going to be jumping into the guards at the tomb. We're going to be finding out. Okay, so let's get in it, guys. We're going to be reading Matthew chapter 27, Bible verses 62 through 65. So let me find it, guys. Okay, 60 through okay, I found it. It's called a guard at the tomb. Okay, so it says, the next day on the Sabbath, the leading priests and Pharisees went to see Pilate. They told him, "Sir, we remember what the deceiver once said while he was still alive. After 3 days I will rise from the dead. So we request that you seal the tomb until the third day. This will prevent his disciples from coming and stealing his body and then telling everyone he was raised from the dead. If that happens, we'll be worse off than we were at first." Pilate replied, "Take guards and secure it the best you can." So right here, the guards, they were telling, I guess, these people, what they heard from God say, that he will be rising the third day from the dead. And they tried to secure the tomb as best as possible, but Remember, nothing stops God. So, with that being said, I'm going to be jumping into the next Bible verse, which is still a chapter, Matthew, chapter 28. Now we're gonna read Bible verses 1 through 8, and this is where he's rising. It's called Jesus has risen. So let's read. It says, early on Sunday morning, as the new day was dawning, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went out to visit the tomb. Suddenly there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord came down from heaven, rolled aside the stone, and sat on it. His face shone like lightning, and his clothing was as white as snow. The guards shook with fear when they saw him, and they fell into a dead faint. Okay? I'm sorry about that, guys. I lost my spot. It says, then the angel spoke to the woman. Don't be afraid, he said. I know you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He isn't here. He is risen from the dead, just as he said would happen. Come see where his body was lying. And now go quickly and tell his disciples that he has risen from the dead, and he is going ahead of you to Galilee. You will see him there. Remember what I have told you. The women ran quickly from the tomb. They were very frightened, but also filled with great joy, and they rushed to give the disciples the angel's message. So you see, guys, Papa God kept his word. He raised from the dead, and he destroyed that tomb the third day. So, what I want to get to here is that the devil thought this whole time that, Jesus was being killed unfairly. He thought that he was winning, but in reality, Father Jesus was winning. And the third day that he, destroyed the tomb, and he rose from the dead the third day, that's when he embarrassed Satan. And imagine, guys, that's something only our God can do. No human on this world could ever do that. Only Father Jesus did that, and till this day is something huge, because nobody could do that but him. So, with that being said, I'm going to be jumping into the last Bible verse that I want to share with you guys. And it's called The Guard's Report. And it's going to be found in Matthew, Bible, chapter 20, Bible verses 11 through 15. And this is called the report of the guards. Just listen, guys. As the women were on, or if you would like to, I'm sorry about that. If you would like to read along or find it on your spare time, go ahead. I always leave like the Bible verses and chapters down in the description box. So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to be reading now. All right. And it's called the Report of the Guards. It says, as the women were on their way, some of the guards went into the city and told the leading priest what had happened. A meeting with the elders was called, and they decided to give the soldiers a large bribe. They told the soldiers, you must say Jesus' disciples came during the night while we were sleeping and they stole his body. If the governor hears about it, we'll stand up for you so you won't get in trouble. So the guards accepted the bribe and said what they were told to say. Their story spread widely among the Jews, and they still tell it today. See, this is where all his people think. This is why all his people think that he's dead, because of that story, that report that the guards made. Till this day, and till this day, they think that he died, that he never resurrected, when in reality, he's alive and he's in the third sky and he's coming back 2,000 years later. So this is why, if you ask yourself, all this crazy crap is happening around the world, That, my friends and family, are the apocalyptical revelation times. And if you don't believe me, read it yourself. Read the whole chapter of Revelations, and you will find it yourself, what we're going through. So, I wanted to make this kind of interesting video about. I just wanted to, make this video because I know a lot of people say that God doesn't exist, or like his people, how they're blindsided because till this day they think that Jesus never resurrected, that he's still dead. No, he is alive and very alive, and he's coming back. He's coming back 2,000 years later, and I invite you, my friends, that don't know who Jesus is, to repent now, because he is one step closer to coming back. And if you're not prepared, you will be left behind. And I'm not nobody to judge, but I read the Bible, and it says in the Bible that whoever's not prepared, whoever doesn't listen to God and, repents, they're gonna stay behind. And like I said, I'm nobody to judge. I'm nobody to, make you feel uncomfortable. I'm just speaking based on the Bible. If you don't believe me, read the Bible yourself. But yeah, guys, this was a video I really wanted to share with you guys, to make it clear that Father Jesus, is alive. He's not dead. And I hope that this was a little bit helpful for you guys, for some of you that have been blindsided, or have other beliefs. I wanted to make it clear that Father Jesus is alive, because myself, when I was a knucklehead, I was in the belief back in the days that God didn't exist and that there was no devil. I used to believe in reincarnation. That's how blindsided I was. I'm talking about myself. So, I know there's a lot of people out there like how I used to be. And if my friends, could come out of that, then I know you guys can too. So I invite you guys to get to know Father Jesus. He's a wonderful person. Read the Bible, pray, and you will find about it yourselves. But yes, guys, I love every single one of you in Jesus' names. And I hope this video was a blessing to you. So with that being said, my friends, I will see you or read you in the next YouTube video, okay? And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Hit that notification bell to be the first to know when I upload. And remember, I upload every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. USA time standards. Hit that like and comment, because I love to comment with you guys. And if you don't want to comment and you want to contact me directly, I always leave in the description box how you can get in contact with me. So with that being said, guys, I love every single one of you, and I pray for every single one of you every night, that you guys are safe and sound and blessed, as well as protected. Okay, so yeah, guys, this was the video of today. God bless every single one of you, and I will be reading you guys in the next YouTube video. Peace.